How did Los Angeles, California get a colorful marketplace and plaza dedicated to Mexican culture from an all but forgotten alleyway? It started with the Avila adobe, Los Angeles' oldest standing residence. Built in 1818 by Francisco Avila, a wealthy California rancher, the home had fallen into a state of disrepair by 1930. Condemned by the city, it would have been demolished were it not for a spirited woman named Christine Sterling. Born Chastine Ricks in Oakland, California in 1881, Christine Sterling ventured to Los Angeles to find an abandoned alleyway and a crumbling adobe structure where she expected to find the celebrated birthplace of the city. In response to the sign she found posted on the home, she posted her own banner that read, "Shall we condemn?" After successfully lobbying everyone she could to save the Avila adobe, she turned her attention to the alley formerly known as Wine Street. With the Italians that had once bottled wine there long moved away, Christine embarked on a project to bring an element of romance back to Los Angeles' birthplace. Like many people of her generation, Christine Sterling was greatly influenced by books representing the California era. Books like Ramona by Helen Hunt Jackson, which romanticized the time period. The notion of turning the alley known as Olvera Street into a Mexican village, replete with workers in full costume, was not a small task. It would take an outpouring of support and planning. Though Christine Sterling often bemoaned the birthplace of Los Angeles' lack of romance, she may have latched on to the Mexican theme after having seen a parade, the Fiesta de Los Angeles, an annual event started by a Jewish business owner, Max Mayberg, in the mid-1890s to draw crowds downtown. She also realized that Olvera Street and the plaza next to it drew the unemployed, the union organizers, and the anarchists, not the crowd most people wanted to associate with. Mrs. Sterling found the help she needed in her two children, LA Times publisher Harry Chandler, LA Police Chief James Edgar Two Guns Davis, and borrowed inmate labor. Christine Sterling was strict, and she demanded those who would work on Olvera Street would dress the part. Some people found it belittling and accused her of being racist, while others were thankful for a chance to run their own business and have steady work. It was people like Carmen Coco Garcia, who declared they would die at Olvera Street doing what they loved, that stayed. Coco, true to her promise, died at age 96. She worked at Olvera Street until the end. Her granddaughter, Emily Christine, who still owns a puesto, vows she will go the same way. The name Wine or Vine Street was changed to Olvera Street in 1877 in honor of Agustin Olvera, the first Superior Court judge of LA County, who lived on the street. In 1932, David Alfaro Siqueiros, who had been exiled from Mexico for his radical political views, painted a mural on the second floor of Olvera Street's Italian Hall. It depicted a crucified mestizo peon clad in loincloth, dominated by an imperialistic eagle above his head, representing the U.S.'s relationship with Mexico. City officials were so taken aback by the image that Mrs. Sterling immediately had it whitewashed. The mural, which has been restored, inspired the Chicano mural movement. During the Depression of the 1930s, Olvera Street became an easy target for law enforcement to round up Mexicans and repatriate them to their homeland. Yet Olvera Street somehow continued to thrive. The opening of Union Station just to the east displaced LA's original Chinatown. Christine Sterling, in an effort to help the displaced Chinese community, built China City. However, the Chinese population of Los Angeles was well established and had more agency than the Mexicans, so they objected to her fake, stereotype-based depiction of China. They went on to build the Chinatown that still exists today. Stereotypical elements exist, blending with items that represent Mexican tradition and Mexican and American pop culture. The one thing about Olvera Street that is absolutely real is that the plaza and the street are home to many of LA's first historic structures. El Aliso was a 6-story tall, sacred sycamore tree at the center of the Tongva village of Yangna. When the 44 original pobladores settled at the site, the Tongva were moved out of the area of the plaza. Felipe de Neve was a Spanish soldier and 4th governor of the Californias. His statue stands at the plaza, and his name is inscribed on the wooden cross. The stone path that runs through the center of Olvera Street traces the route of the Zanja Madre, the aqueduct that brought water from El Rio Porciuncula to Los Angeles. That would be the Los Angeles River. Christine Sterling had the fountain built to represent the importance of water to the city. The mother vine that twirls and wraps its way across Olvera Street comes from the grapevines at the San Gabriel Mission. Even Hollywood found Olvera Street to be a fitting location for Charlie Chaplin and Jackie Coogan to film The Kid in 1921, prior to the street's redevelopment. LA's first fire station was located on the plaza, and after many reuses, it is now a fire museum. The plaza substation provided the power to Los Angeles' yellow cars, the streetcar system that operated from 1895 until 1963. The building now serves as the facilities plant for the plaza. The Pico House, once a hotel owned by the last California governor, Pio Pico, had been restored but remains underutilized. La Iglesia de Nuestra Señora La Reina de Los Ángeles was moved to its present location on higher ground in 1822 to prevent flooding. Services are still going strong. And the Avila adobe, which started the whole redevelopment process, looks closed from the front, but it is open for tours, which is obvious if you walk around the back. Artist and author Leo Polidi's mural depicting the blessing of the animals represents a tradition that started on Sábado de Gloria, or Holy Saturday, 1930. At first, livestock received blessings, but now dogs in tutus and cats in ponchos line up amongst the barnyard dwellers. Festivals are celebrated for most holidays at Olvera Street and represent a multitude of traditions, from Aztec dancers to ballet folklorico. Day of the Dead dances, runs, processions, and altars culminate on November 1st, and Las Posadas are held in December to celebrate the journey of Joseph and Mary from Nazareth to Bethlehem. Traditional Mexican items overflow displays at the puestos and in larger stores that line the street. Olvera Street's colors, sounds, and smells drown the senses in fanciful reverie. Jorge, the stuffed burro, has been delighting visitors since 1972, replacing the live donkey Cirila, who didn't always like to walk the correct direction to work. La Carreta, Jorge's concession, was recently evicted, then saved, then put at risk once again because the concession owner had not added her son's name to the lease before she passed away. It is all in the family at Olvera because city rules prohibit leases to be passed on to outsiders. La Golondrina Cafe, arguably the oldest restaurant at Olvera Street, once owned and operated by the inimitable Consuelo de Bonzo, closed after being sold to another longtime vendor when the new owner could not get the city to agree to maintain the outdated plumbing in a building they own. Now people walk by the Pelanconi building, the first brick edifice built in Los Angeles, as if it didn't exist. With a new master plan announced for El Pueblo, Olvera Street's merchants who have simultaneously experienced neglect and steep rent raises from the city are cautiously awaiting the reveal of the completed plan, with former Dodger owner Frank McCourt's pet gondola project looming over the Avila adobe like progress, or possibly a scene from a science fiction movie, and the Regional Housing Needs Allocation, or RHNA, stating LA is required to build 250,000 new housing units, there is reason for concern. The fact that the plaza, including Olvera Street, is both a state of California and National Register historic listing may prevent outlandish change, but the promise of retail malls amidst Los Angeles' currently high cost of living and changed habits after COVID have forced several puesto owners to get second jobs. The overall situation makes the future of Olvera Street precarious. Though delicious meals prevail at Olvera Street, closed puestos and empty tables won't pay the rent. While Emily Christine waits for customers to arrive at her puesto, Margaritas, named after her mother who left it to her, there can sometimes come a memory, like the flicker of the candles in the candle shop her mother sent her to so she could stay warm as a little girl. Laughs peal through her memory, emerging from the puppet theater owned by family members. She conjures the image of her beautiful mother, Margarita, and her real-life Grandma Coco. Songs sung by Lalo Guerrero drift from the depths of the restaurant nearby, and she remembers her namesake, Christine Sterling, on her favorite horse. On some days, the tour buses do arrive, and the street is crowded. People make purchases, and then they come back again to buy more. And she enjoys life at Olvera Street and wishes you would come to enjoy it too.